Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Wednesday, hump day, June 8th, 2018, the middle of our trading week, and we have a long day of trading ahead. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, if you would please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions, and it's a pretty good site. I mean, it's an awesome site. It's got a lot of information, nice economic calendar right on the front. Beautiful site. Go check it out. Traders, this is a session where we're going to talk about 6 currency pairs with trade plans and setups, and got some news, some commentary, some numbers for you, and a bunch of good stuff. And we'll hopefully get this done within 15 minutes. Yesterday went a little bit over. So let's get moving. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series. Started trading in the year of 2006 and 2008. Retired from a wonderful career out of the fire rescue department out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I came to Thailand 9 days later for a 3-month holiday. Well, still here, still trading. I trade the Forex market every single trading day. I look at probabilities, I look at opportunities, and I look at charts and listen to fundamentals all day long. And I'm just looking for that opportunity to get into those trades that are profitable on my side more than non-profitable, right? Because this is a game of probabilities. Trading is all about probabilities. It's all about having it more on your side than the other side. Let's get over to the risk disclaimer. This is the legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most of all, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's get over to the news and commentary. Let's take a look at our economic calendar today. It's not light. We have a couple of things. We've got in the Eurozone, Euro London session today, we've got Great British Pound. Ooh, that's medium impact, and those are FPC meeting minutes. I'd watch that. Be careful of that. We do have the Eurogroup meetings. I don't know if they have extended the emergency Greece crisis meetings today. I have no idea. The pound also has annual budget release, which I won't be able to read. And the big one is in the New York session, we have building permits out of Canada. There's no New York data today that is going to affect us until New York afternoon, which unfortunately is like, I think it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So the chances of me being up and awake for the FOMC meeting minutes is 0 to none. So I will miss that news event. All right, let's again go over and see how the markets closed. I did take a peek at it, and I cheated a little bit this morning. The U.S. markets all closed in the green. The U.S. 30 was up 0.53%. S&P 500 out of New York was up 0.61%. The NASDAQ was up 0.11%, and the Russell 2000 was up just barely at 0.03%. So they all traded in the green. I'd like to say that was the same in the Eurozone. All in the red. The DAX was negative 1.96%. The FTSE 100 was negative 1.58%. The CAC 40 was negative 2.27%, and the Eurostoxx 50 was negative 2.11%. Traders, let's come on over to Asia and talk about what's going on my side of the world. Remember, the countries I'm talking about now are currently trading as their markets are open. The Nikkei 225 is currently down 1.55%. The S&P ASX 200 is down 1.14%. The Shanghai is down 5.15%. Wow. The Hang Seng is down 3.52%. And the STI, which we don't talk about too much, but I think we're going to start talking about it, and that's Singapore, is down 0.88%. I didn't realize how big of an influx in trading Singapore has on the Asian markets. And of course, always ending with the Kospi out of Seoul is down negative 0.76%. So we say, well, why? Let's go head over into the commentary area. Why is all these Asia stocks down so much? Well, as you know, China's markets have basically dumped it since about 4 days ago. That's trading days, when basically they did this referendum and And then, of course, yesterday, Varoufakis resigned as the finance minister. And the first meeting, Tsipras, the prime minister, didn't bring anything new to the table. Basically, I think he just put his old, proposal into the Xerox machine and just copied it. So, nothing happened. I don't know if there was a second meeting. That was up to about 10 p.m. my time. And I had moved over to New York as I trade a different instrument in New York. So, that basically did that. And then the China move I think is bigger than the Greece move at the moment. The China stock market is dumped. They basically did a haircut and stopped 25 IPs from trading in the last 2 days. So China's in the bottom of the soup pan and burning. So we got to be real careful what goes on with that. We need to keep our ears to the economic calendar. Folks, if you don't have a live feed where the person is speaking in the background to you all day long, you can look it up on the internet. I will tell you that what I use, it's expensive. It's called Trade the News. But they 24/7, I get news feeds, and I keep a laptop in my condo, so even when I'm not at my desk, I'm listening to news feeds come out. Most of the stuff that I learn comes from that. You don't see that on Forex Factory. You're not seeing this on Forex Peace Army. You're not seeing this on NZDUSD economic calendar. You don't hear that China just froze 25 of its IPOs and said they can't trade today. So, you need fundamentals, and you need to not necessarily trade them, but you need to know they're there, and you need to know when stuff comes out to protect your trade. Yesterday's trades worked beautifully. The euro, the pound, the euro Aussie. Believe it or not, the pound yen, all these trades worked like to the pip, including the New Zealand dollar. Again, to the pip. It was unbelievable. I wish I'd take my own advice and gotten those trades. Just absolutely a great trading day if you took our advice on our trade plans. They worked perfectly. So let's start talking about me and commentary, and let's head over to the 60-minute Forex charts. Just to remind you that each candle on the chart is a 1-hour candle. As usual, let's start with the euro-dollar. Euro-dollar is right at the pivot point. It's at support, but I'm looking for this to break, and I'm looking for this to head to the downside. We'd love to see this pull up to the 23.6 at 1.1031, and we will take this down to 1.0931, and we'll get some good profits out of this, which is also the daily S1 pivot point. So I'm not too concerned about this pivot point, this daily pivot point. It's Asia, so it's an inactive zone. There was no data. So, of course, you're going to see a sideways price action. So we need to see a bump up so it can break through this. Or it's just going to break through it, and then you can just enter the trade. But remember that, pivots are a form of support and resistance, right? It's just a calculated form of support and resistance, and so are Fibonacci's. So I think people look at Fibonacci's more than they look at pivot points. So just keep an eye on that. But I'm looking for this to go down. And the only way to do that is make sure you have an economic calendar that, gives you current news live. I'm trying to help you out as much as I can. I just have to, be careful what I say. But, if you're in the United States and you go to TD Ameritrade and open up a live account, which is for options, you can get CNBC live on your computer 24 hours a day. So you have this, you need a data feed and a data thing to come out with. I know there's a free one. I need to look it up and I need to find it. And I promise you, I will look for it today and see if I can get this to you tomorrow. All right, this is pound dollar. Look at this pound just dropped off the wagon yesterday. What a beautiful trade yesterday. And just, this isn't yesterday's trade plan, but it took this right to our take profit area yesterday. And, now I'm just looking for this to come back up to the 50% fib. And you know what? We're heading down. So basically, if this comes up to that pink line, which is a daily pivot, guess what? We're going to sell it. And we're just going to keep on going with the move. I don't think we're going to see a change of trend of anything. I don't think we're going to see these pairs all of a sudden head to the upside. Now, if Greece comes to a solution and resolves this issue, I think you're going to see, the euro like really move to the high side. I think it's going to move 100 pips like really quick. So just be aware of that. If they come to a decision and an agreement, I think the euro is going to really pop up maybe 100, 150 pips really quick, like in seconds, once that announcement is made. But I'm not sure we're going to sit around and wait for it. All right, let's take a look at the euro, the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is still bearish. This should take a screenshot, how to trade Forex. Well, this is how it is. This is just beautiful stair-stepping price action. It's coming down. We just need to pull back up to this 38.2, or the 50% would be fine at 74.75. We'll take it down to 74.12. You know what? Nice pair, quick 50 pips, 40 pips, and you know what? We're going to get the heck out of there. The problem is we got some pretty good resistance, which is better for us at that 50% Fibonacci level, and that is at 74.65. So, there's a good chance. Why? Because if you look at the chart, you see that yellow line is right on that fib. That's a computerized, oh, that's fancy, computerized support level, which is now resistance, that is calculated into my charts automatically. And, so we've got to recognize that, okay? Just so you know, the red dotted line on the chart, that's just a mean line. It's a mean line, but it works if you look at it. It's pretty cool. Good stuff. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie yen. The Euro Aussie. This is a very tough pair to trade. This is probably our toughest pair to trade today. We want to sell at resistance, but this is moving. This is on the move when I took this shot. And I only took this shot about 15 minutes ago. So, this is on the move. This is trucking on up here. I don't know where it's going. It can head up another 100 pips for all I know. But I'm not chasing the big blue candle. We know what happens when that goes on. We end up getting beat up. So I put this is a 5-point trend line. Break the trend line. We'll take it back down at 47.82. Why? Because we sell at resistance and we buy at support. Now, meaning that we want to take profits at 47.04. I wouldn't even mind going to 47.10. You know what? It's a 42 pip trade. Get out. Now, if you get a big bearish candle that goes right through it, of course, don't get out of the trade. Just keep on, you might want to take half. I'm a price scaler, so I get to a certain point, I take half or 3/4 of my trade off the table, and then just, let this do what it wants. The most of the time it goes to the daily S2, and then we'll take it from there, okay? But this is probably the hardest trade of the day right here. Because we don't know where it's going. It's just, this took off in Asia for no reason. Like, there's been no data, no China news, no Kuroda speak, and nobody's talking, nobody's doing anything, and this thing just took off. Here's our Euro Yen. Euro Yen, really nice. I sort of like this trade. I have to be really honest with you. I sort of like this trade. If you look at this pattern from the last candle on the chart, and look left of the chart, this is what I call a V pattern. They're very aggressive patterns. When price comes down like that, doesn't really go sideways, it goes right back up again. That's what we call a V pattern, which means that when it comes back to the second stage of the pattern, which we're now in, it's pretty aggressive. So what I'm hoping is that being that we're in the inactive zone of Asia, this will pull back up here to this 134.65 area, and we can get in this thing. So you say, well, what are we going to do if it continues up? Well, that's fine too. I covered you that too. I stuck this purple line on here. This is also resistance from this yellow line here, and that's at 135.49. And it could, really, there's a good chance it's going to just move all the way back up again. And if you're a good counter trend trader and you know what you're doing, you have some experience, you can sell this back up to here. That's a lot of pips. So you can, so we have 2 entries today on this, and we're going to take profit at support at the daily S1 at 133.66. All right, New Zealand dollar, not doing a lot. It did hit our take profit yesterday. Of course, this is a different chart, but it did take our take profit yesterday. Remember, it was a short trade. It was not a big trade. It was only like a 38 pip trade yesterday. So now this, to me, looks like this is getting tired, and it's hanging out at support. So we'll see what happens here, but the pullback to 0.6687 is vital. We have got to get to R1, which is a daily resistance 1 level, and we've got to break through this pivot point and get up there so we can take this down. I'm not too keen on taking it at the pivot point. It's just too nasty left of the chart, and it's too short of a trade. We need this to pull back up and give us that. And to be honest with you, the New Zealand dollar does that for us. Alright, that's our 6 currency pairs with our analysis. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, please come join us at our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, have a great trading day. Always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, we'll catch you next time. And always remember, it's before the London Open. Take care, traders. Have a great day. Bye-bye.